over. What you cooking, man?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Iron Minds. I'm Trey Grigg. So excited to be with you today. We got a big show today. We got a lot to talk about. It's Matt's week. Michael Lombard, Nick Klingensmith getting up with us today. Pedro Peterson. What's up, my friend? How you guys doing today?
Officially Matt's week. Let's go. I'm fired up. I'm amped up. I just had a great – I was essentially at peak last week training-wise, and, man, I'm fired up.
Let's go. Pedro, what's up, dog? How you doing? Are you on mute?
Man, I'm doing wonderful, brother. I'm doing great. Ready for Mid-America Truck Show, man. Just like everyone else, dude. 24 hours from now, be boarding a flight to come see you, lovely gentlemen.
Oh. We may have to change the intro to the show if you keep showing up, dude. We may have to add you in there.
No, you wouldn't want to do that, man. I don't want people to expect anything from me, And then if I'm on the video,
Come on, dog. Come on. No, it's going to be great. It's Matt's week, starting officially on Thursday, going through Saturday, which is exciting. Louisville, Kentucky, 65,000 attendees. This thing
is that me?
Awesome trucks. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. What is it? There's a sound there. It sounds like somebody's swinging. Somebody's on a swing. That's what it sounds like. But anyways, hey, we got a lot of good stuff coming up this week to talk about, which is great. Sorry that I missed you guys last week. I was in Washington, D.C. with my daughter's class field trip to Washington, D.C. And we got to see some really cool stuff, man. It was amazing. We walked 30 miles in 4 days, which I don't know if I've walked that far in a long time. And but that was amazing. Got to see a lot of really cool stuff. There is a sound out there. What is that sound? Nick, is that you?
Probably. There's birds and stuff. And
that's what it is. Birds. Yeah.
Lions.
I was going to say, it sounds like there's freaking birds of prey out there going to town.
That's right, man. They're circling, dude. There's something dead around you, man. You better watch out.
Trey, I think people need to take your lead on it. It's crazy to think about, but if they have the opportunity to chaperone a field trip, take it.
Oh, man, I wouldn't miss that up for anything. What's up, Corey? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, I wouldn't pass that up. I was talking to somebody about this just the other day. My kids are going to be out of the house in 3 years. So these moments are fleeting. They're going away. They're not coming back. And I'm not going to miss them, man. So it was great to do that. It was great to, get to experience that with my daughter, watch her lay a wreath with the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, which is incredible. And just get to, just be a part of that. And I'm just not going to miss that for the world, So it was a blast. It was a good time. Let me tell you this. So we got to go to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. For those who don't know, if you haven't been there, to Arlington National Cemetery, they have tombs for the unknown soldiers, the ones who could not be identified, which is really kind of a past war thing, because now they have pretty good technology to be able to identify soldiers, even if their bodies are, basically destroyed. But they do this for each war. They have tombs for the unknown soldiers. They select the soldier. And then they have soldiers from the Army's Old Guard, 3rd Battalion, who volunteer to watch the tomb, to guard the tomb 24 hours a day. And it's amazing how incredible they are. If you haven't seen that before, you can check it out online, or go to the cemetery and check it out. Not only did I've seen it before, which is it's amazing to see it every time, but I've seen it before. But this time, not only did our school get to lay a wreath, which my daughter got to be a part of, that was really cool. But we got to go underneath where the offices are and talk to some of the soldiers about what it takes to become a soldier that guards the tomb. And it's amazing that the guard badge that they get is the second most rare badge in the military behind astronaut. Only 721, I believe it was, have received this badge since 1957. It's incredibly difficult to get. The standard to get to it is so high. It's insane. They have to, there's like 5 tests they have to pass. There's performance, which is can they actually work with the guns and do all that kind of stuff. There's uniform. They make their own uniforms, and everything is measured to 1/64th of an inch in terms of perfection, in terms of like where things are placed on the uniform and the stitching and all that. And they have to make their own uniforms, which is also insane. And then this is the craziest one. They give them 17 pages of information about the Guard, about the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and about Arlington National Cemetery, the people who are entered there. And they have to memorize 17 pages of information and do it in such a way that they can walk in, sit down, they're handed 17 blank pieces of paper, and they have to write it out, and they have to get punctuation, spelling, capitalization, perfect line by line for 17 pages. And they only get 2 chances to do that, and they can only have 2 mistakes. So if they make 2 mistakes, they fail, they have to do it again, and if they fail again, like that. And so the standard that these guys live by is insane. I mean, it's almost like ridiculous, but it's such a high standard. It's so cool to see and to be able to have achieved this. I mean, it was incredible to watch and to see. And I kept thinking to myself, what job would these guys do after the Guard? Because they can only do it for 2 years, 4 years max, but 2 years is what they have to do it for.
HR.
What job would be fulfilling after doing that, after having that level, that standard, that level of perfection and detail and focus? What job would be satisfying after that? I can't even think of one that would be remotely close to living by that standard. It reminds me of like a top athlete, like what do you do after that? I heard somebody say that astronauts who went to the moon came back and were actually depressed because once you've been to the moon, what do you do? Like, what could you ever do to fulfill that high ever again, And so it was really fascinating to see these guys and how they live, and the attention to detail that they live their life by. It's wild.
It is a crazy thought process, because I've been chasing the same that final mile of Ironman Florida ever since. Like, it's called Ironman Blues. Olympians get it too. I mean, Olympians go for, they go for ham for 4 years. Like, Olympians for 4 years are training for sometimes an event. Like say you do the 100-meter dash, or you do like one track event or one race. Like, it's all of 5 minutes, and you're locked in for 4 years, really longer. It could be your entire life.
Say plus the 15 before that and the.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go, and then you dump the tanks for that entire race, and then the race is over. Then it's over and done, and then you might not get a chance to go back to the next Olympics. And so it's like there's a real Olympic blues, Ironman blues that come with like that after. Like, what do you do after? What do you do next?
Right.
What do you do in the crowd when the crowd's no longer there, when you're not playing under the lights? I think D1 athletes definitely struggle with this. I mean, you think of most D1 athletes, college football players, like they never go to the pros. What are they supposed to do after that? It's like, could you imagine playing football at University of Texas A&M? You're playing in front of 100,000 people, and then all of a sudden you graduate, and it's like, yeah, you're just John Smith now. It doesn't really matter.
Come on, Nick, we got room.
That's right, Nick. You're absolutely right. Become a freight broker and get into sales. That's what you do.
Whenever anybody asks me like what my favorite race is, my answer is always going to be the one I just did. For that same thing, I always want to relive or recreate that other excitement. I was only ever going to run one marathon. As soon as I crossed the finish line, I was like, now what?
How do I sign up for the next one? That's right.
Literally, I got home 2 days later, signed up for Chicago, and it's not the Olympics, but you're training for a marathon. You're very single-minded focused for 4 months, eating, sleeping, drinking, exercising, like everything has to do with this one thing, and then it's over.
That's right. And it's tough. And it's like, man, you just see these guys that live their lives at the highest of highs, the standard that is, because when you go to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, they do it the exact same way every time. They do it so perfect that there's rust stains on the grounds that are like of their footprints that are perfect. It's like a dotted line. Like, it's so incredible. And they live at this high level of perfection, and they do it 26 hours on, 22 hours, 26 hours on, 22 off, 26 on, and they get 4 days off. I mean, it's insane work hours that they do. They only let them do it for 2 years because of insomnia. It actually starts to be bad for them health-wise, and because they get injured. And think about this: they're just walking, but they have to walk a certain way. They have to walk, they have to move their bodies in a certain way. It's almost like it was like they're floating. And so they let them do it for 2 years. But I was so impressed and in awe of what these people have committed to do, and how proud they are of the work that they've done. It was really, really cool. And we asked all the kids, what was your favorite part of the week? And almost every one of them said a 2 million soldier. Almost every one of them. I mean, it was that cool. It had that much of an impact on them, which was. I mean,
there's no coincidence in that. If you take a look, I mean, it's one of the hardest jobs you can ever have to perform. And yeah, how they have to walk, like how they land their feet, and like the pace, the cadence that they're walking at, it's probably like mentally draining. But yet, for as perfect as it is, it ends up being kids. These are 8th grade kids on a field trip. That's their most favorite part. Their most favorite part is watching somebody who's that locked in.
Yeah. Yeah, they were juniors, but even more impressive. Like that actually impressed them. It's hard to impress a junior in high school, and these kids were just all about it. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. And what was cool too was like being in DC, especially like in the political climate that we have now. It's pretty divisive, pretty crazy. But excuse me, you go there and you see the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights. You start to understand like the history of our country and just how incredible it is. And it was just a neat thing for them to experience that from the sea. I mean, they were so locked in, so impressed with everything. It was just an absolute blast, that's for sure. Oh, Chris Thomas, what's up, brother? Good to see you, my friend.
When you go to the
Chris Thomas in a couple days.
Chris Thomas gonna be there karaoke.
Chris Thomas, baby.
When you see the archives and you go look at those founding documents, and I think the reality of it, seeing it in person, really is something that's life-changing. Whether you're in 8th grade, because I remember doing this in 8th grade, and I wish I had the opportunity. I would love to go back, but when you think about those founding documents and the sheer fact that there were gentlemen sub 30 years old signing those documents, there were people 28-year-olds who were signing those documents, and people, people think that they're not capable of doing Put that in perspective. I mean, like a 28-year-old signing documents, with that type of rhetoric and what they stand for, what they mean, like stuff like the Declaration, and people don't think that they're able to do insane and crazy things. 28-year-olds, like nobody's.
That, man. I always let the white wigs fool me. I was thinking they were always these old
guys.
No,
dude, they were young, man.
Put it in perspective.
Many of them were so young. Crazy.
That is, I think that tells you a little bit of something too about the things that we care about these days compared to what people had to care about back then. We take a lot of things for granted, even in this political climate. Like you said, back then, I mean, it was okay. Well, we have to go to war with England. now we get to bitch about each other on social media.
Yeah, I mean, life has changed a lot in 250 years. No doubt about that. We got to go to Mount Vernon, George Washington's home, and we didn't get to go to Monticello this time, which is Thomas Jefferson's home. But you see these guys' homes, which they've preserved pretty well, pretty fascinating, and you see how they live. And these guys were all inventors. They were all like creating things and devices. They had time to do those kind of things. The pace of life was slower, and yet they lived shorter. Like a lot of these people only lived to 45, 50 years old, maybe 55. I think Thomas Jefferson was like one of the older ones. He got up to like 72 or something. Like these guys didn't live very long. They lived slower lives, and yet they did more, it seems like, than we do today. They accomplished more. They created a nation. It's wild to think about how all that worked out. It was really, really wild.
Yeah, I'm always talking about the conceptualization of time, and like when the idea of, I think I've mentioned it on the show. It's in the book, The Comfort Crisis, how the mind
bring that up.
How the mind thinks of time, and like the reason why the idea of time flying by, people think years flying by, and that has everything to do with routine. When your brain is in a routine, and if you're in the same routine every single day. So if it's like you work from 8 to 5, like whatever your work hours are, if you're just doing the same thing all the time and you're not challenging your brain, and this is in multiple ways. This could be by learning a language. This could be with exercise, with fitness. If you're not intentionally like doing difficult tasks that put your brain to work, your brain will log. And this is science. This isn't just like a hyperbole. Like your brain will start to shrink. You will rush through, you will intentionally start to rush through your days, and it will feel faster because of this automatic default to comfort to get you through it. And that'll be why it feels like, oh my God, it's already Christmas. It's already the holidays. And it's because you kind of just been doing the same things. And like, it might be broken up by a vacation, but that vacation isn't, you're not putting yourself to the test. If you're going on a vacation, you're not challenging yourself. But like, if you notice, I mean, if you were to go out in the woods for 3 days and you had no phone, no technology, just a map and a compass, and you had to navigate from point A to point B, it's going to feel like it takes a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my mom and I were talking about that, the days are long, but the years seem short. I think it's because of the routines we've kind of gotten into. That's for sure. Hey, Bob, look at this fun fact real quick. Real quick, Nick, look at this fun fact. I love this. Jefferson and Adams both died on the same day. How crazy is that? Two founding fathers dying on the same day, on July 4th of all days. Pretty well. Sorry, go ahead.
You ever seen that HBO show, John Adams?
I have not seen that one, no.
Yeah, that tar and feather scene is lit.
It's worth a watch. But you know what I was going to say? The other thing about the comfort crisis, I may not get this math right, but basically if you were to take all of time and slap it onto a 1-year calendar, our entire lifetimes would fit into like Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. And yeah. I don't remember the exact thing, but just showing how small our time is in the grand scheme of things.
How quick it is. Yes. Yeah, it goes fast. There's no doubt about that. That's for sure. So,
by the way, trick, if you want to slow down time, you ready? Do a plank. Plank for 1 minute. It'll be the longest minute of all time.
Dude, that's the truth right there, man. That is the truth. Or do what I'm doing, stretching. Dude, I'm stretching this shoulder out, and I've got these exercises I do going to rehab. And I'm only supposed to hold for like 10 seconds, but man, like that's a long 10 seconds when your shoulder's burning.
Speaking of a plank, there's a dude I know, and this is a great challenge for people. Like these are great ways, other great ways to get started or to like helping build habits. This guy I know, his name's Rome. He lives here in Austin. He's had a daily challenge, like, and they're small. They could be small. Like I know people who are on run streaks where they just run 1 mile a day. That's it. Like they're just on a run streak of 1 mile a day. But this guy Rome, he does 3 minutes of planking per day, and he's over like 1,200 days straight of doing it. And when you get yourself on a streak of something like that, like say you do it 10 days in a row, you're like, wow, what if I do 20? What if I do this? And he's over 1,200 days of planking for 3 minutes, and he puts it on video. He posts a reel almost every day of him in the plank, and he's like, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. He's like, this is day whatever, the plank challenge. Here's what's on my mind. And he just shares it. And it's like that habit every day. He does it every day. And eventually you start to look forward to it. Like, oh, what am I gonna do this day? What am I gonna do that day? Yeah, over 1,200 days of 3 minutes of planking every single day.
That's crazy. There's psychological about that. My daughter's only social media that she has right now is Be Real. I don't know if you know about Be Real or not, but every day it goes off at a different time. And when it goes off, you're just supposed to take a picture of wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just to like no makeup, no filters, just post what you're doing right now. That's the whole point of the social media platform. But they reward you for having a streak. So if you do it every day and you hit it, it starts to reward you for having the streaks. There's something psychological about consistency and about achieving that, man. It's crazy. They built it into this social media app because it's so powerful.
They do that in so many ways too. Even on I don't follow like anyone on TikTok. I only post, but my wife sends videos to me. So she's sort of my TikTok, and she sends them to me on the app. And if I go to reply and I'm like, oh, that was funny, or put a little heart next to it or something like that, I get a notification from TikTok telling me to keep the streak alive. Like to keep commenting, to keep writing back to her. And I'm like, guys.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely, the red dots are there, and they are trying to keep us there.
Totally built in. All right, so listen, we got to switch gears just for a little bit. It's Matt's week. 3 out of the 4 of us are going to be there. Nick, we're going to miss you, my friend. Wish you could be there. I know it's sad, but we're going to have a great time in Louisville coming up. I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite events of the year because it is about trucking and it is about family. I love seeing drivers bring their families, bring their kids, belong to see this. There's going to be a truck beauty contest out there. You're going to get to see a lot of really cool stuff, meet a lot of amazing people. It's just one of the most down-to-earth events in the industry, and it's become one of my favorites. I cannot wait to get to Louisville. I'm so excited. Bringing the RV on Thursday morning. It's going to be an RV parking there right at the Expo Center. So if you happen to be there, come knock on the door and say hi. It's going to be a good time to be there. What are you guys looking forward to? Michael Lombard, Pedro Peterson. What are you looking forward to?
What's really cool is this is the first Mats I'm going to where I'm technically at work, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, it's like the evolution. And I mean, technically, I was at work, 2 years ago when I brought my truck because my truck was there. I feel like I was a constituent of Mats, like where Mats was, especially
like
specifically.
Just 2 years ago, you were driving the truck 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, I brought my truck and stuff up there, and it was really. I was talking about it yesterday on my show about how like I feel like as I pulled into the lot, like I wish I could have called my grandfather. Like that was the one thing I wish. I felt like so many things were coming full circle, where I was like at this level of showing up at this place at this major industry event. It was great. And then last year I went because of essentially becoming more of a personality and being more mission focused. And now this year, the mission continues to move forward in such a better and more elevated way of being at the Truck Parking Club booth, and then also being around for what we're trying to do, like in both avenues with talking about the things I always talk about with health and fitness, but also talking about what we're doing to solve the truck parking crisis. And I'm excited to meet because it's just been another compounding effect. Like at Mats, I linked in 2 years ago, linking up with guys who we've been all stirring the pot on the internet for a while. And then last year it became like meeting more people who've kind of grown within this community. And now there's just like hundreds of more people of conversations and stuff we're going to do. I mean, there's so many. And now, especially with Truck Parking Club, now that I work with people who are making content in the trucking space, meeting more of those people in person, getting to see their trucks, getting to meet them, get to know them like on a instead of over the phone, to be able to talk to them in real life and just see what's going on and seeing all the chrome in the lot and just seeing what new people, seeing what new people are going to be there. And it's a high energy, positive event that is worth it if you're any link in the chain in the industry. I'm just stoked to see all the people that because you see people at other events, Manifest, the other industry events, but this is where you really get to see everybody all at once a year.
Especially in the trucking community. It's so focused on the trucking community. I can't wait, man. I'm really excited about that. I'll tell you what, you guys are putting together quite the squad over at Truck Parking Club. You got Brent Hutto on board now. Obviously, Reed Laustelo, Evan's phenomenal, the whole team. Tommy Trucking out there, pointing out all the new locations that you guys have. Putting a squad together over there, man.
As I say, yeah. There's an army being built, and you need. We're trying to bring in the top dogs like that Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Mm-hmm. All right, Pedro, come off mute. Tell us what you're looking forward. By the way, pick up your Iron Mind swag at ironminds.io. Everybody, here you go.
Man, I'm just looking forward to the event in itself, man. Last year. This is only my second year. Last year I came pretty much just as any other person. Last year was
your first year? I didn't know that. Dude, wow.
Dude, and to think last year, I was just some random person, like almost knew nobody. Actually posted about this yesterday on my social media, man, about I had some memories pop up and just thinking about the things that I did last year, the people I met that I never thought I would get to experience, just little intimate events like that, man. And so I'm looking forward to building. Holy Lord, that is a bright security light. Dude, I thought
the sun just came out.
Bro, I know. Anyways, I'm looking to forward to building more of my network, man. And here it is, my second year, and dude, we got a booth. We have a super booth with Nate and Bane, Freight Ninja, Man, we have some insurance people coming. We're going to do all kinds of great interviews. Bro, hey, we can't party too much because we're right across from the Kentucky DOT, but so we're gonna
Hey, as long as you ain't driving the trucks, you're fine.
That's right. They'll jump in with you, man. They're gonna be a part.
Don't get in the driver's seat. Do not do it.
That's true. So, but just the event itself, Trey. You said it. It's just this is everyone comes together at Matt's. Like for some reason, it is the one of the few events, maybe even the one where truckers, brokers, tech people, parts manufacturers, truck manufacturers, if you touch logistics, you go to Matt's. And it's just the greatest way to be able to network and meet people and do new things. I mean, Lombard, I met Lombard first time last year. You, Trey, I mean, and now look where we are a year later, bro. Look where we are a year later together. You know what I mean? Here we are on this show together. And last year, we had barely known each other.
Dude, I remember we went to that little hire match together. We went bowling together. Had the chance to hang out with the crew, with Hunter, and just get to know you guys. Had such a blast doing it, man. It's been a wild ride for the past year. You came to BCS after that, and it's neat to look back and think about what's happened last year and getting to meet you guys there. I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to is that we're going back to the Tavern on 4th on Friday night after the concert for the big road tour, sponsored by Multi-Service Fuel Card, associated with the Berkeley Carrier Summit. That's going to be a blast. Looking forward to having as many carriers and as many owner-operators as possible that will come out to that. Chris Thomas is going to be there. We're going to do karaoke after that. So it's going to be late night. We're going to have a good time. But I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a blast to get to see all those people. Ooh, 51 Logistics. What's up? Good morning.
Oh, 51. My boy, 51 Logistics. My boy, Adam. Nice. He's checking in. Appreciate you, brother. When it comes to Matt's, like how I've left every year is really the biggest thing. I've never left because every time I leave, and I said this on my show yesterday, I left, especially last year, inspired. Like I left so ready to double down on everything with everything I was doing. I mean, it's where everything formulated this idea of really leaning into triathlon. That's why I came home. I did 75 hard. I locked in, signed up for, my first Olympic try because I knew if I wanted to do and be who I wanted to be within the industry, I had to do something extravagant, especially not being behind the wheel of a truck anymore. And the drivers I met there, the people I met, literally filled me with so much inspiration, seeing them still in this down market in tough times, like pushing through, doubling down on who they are. Double down on who they are, grinding it out. I was like, I am invested. My heart is in this from leaving. And that's what's great about the event, where I'm not sad it's over. Like a lot of other conferences, I'm like, dang, I'm going to miss these people. I'm not sad Nats is over. I'm just ready to get right back and, get right back to work and see how I can get, I can get better. It's great. It's like there's something really grateful about being at Matt's.
Pedro, you bunked with Chris Thomas last year, Matt?
Yeah, we did for one night. For one night, we did. Chris was awesome enough to he got a suite or whatever because his family was coming in and they didn't come in that night. So we got one night. We all bunked together like it was 6th grade summer camp.
Nice. That's awesome. Scott Watanabe, good morning, brother. What's up, my friend? Oh, Carlton says Ironman Augusta in September. Augusta, Georgia. Ooh, that's a spot I want to get to, man. Augusta, Georgia. I really want to go in April, though, for the Masters, but that wouldn't be so bad either.
September might be a little busy.
Yeah, September, me and Nick are going to Serbia for a 70.3.
That's awesome. And we have, it's the start of the trade show season, that's for sure. Hey, speaking of trade shows, so after Matt's, of course, we start looking towards Broken Carrier Summit in Indianapolis at the end of April 28th through 30. Going to be exciting. But I want to tell you guys this. We're going to be doing Iron Minds workouts on Wednesday and Thursday, and we got a sponsor for it. Our friends over at Chain are going to be sponsoring the Iron Minds workouts. So we're going to have T-shirts this year. We're going to be getting up and doing some fun work. And so, again, if you want to learn more about them, you can go to trychain.com, and check those guys out. But yeah, so we got a sponsor. They're very much into fitness as a company, the culture, and they said, hey, we want to be a part of that. So we got a sponsor for our Iron Minds workouts in the morning, which is great. We're going to get Annalise on the show, but she's in California. It's early over there, so it's going to be tough to get her on the show.
She was at Manifest. They do team breath work They're they have a whole culture of like health and
Yeah.
wellness at their company. They're fantastic people. Former owner operators, used to own a small fleet themselves. They got a fascinating story chain. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So we're gonna have some T-shirts that we're gonna make up for this, and obviously anybody that goes to BCS can come and be a part of that. We're gonna do a walk and probably like a yoga or some sort of stretching workout, and have a good time. So it's gonna be fun. So looking forward to that. That's gonna be good. Thanks to our friends over at Chain for sponsoring that, being a part of that with us, which is great. Looking forward to that. Oh.
Well,
right.
Shimmy, John LaRory, myself, maybe Jeff Dickinson. We're gonna have a little orphans like Zoom call while you're all at Matt's, and we're gonna just talk. We're gonna talk about trucks. We're gonna look at pictures of trucks.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna have fun together. We're gonna.
Well, I'm sad.
I don't know.
I'm sad you're not going to be there. I know Shimmy's not going to get to come to Matt's either this time. She'll be at BCS as well, so it'll be great.
Well, that's what's on my radar. Hopefully, I'm waiting to lock down one other, but I should have 2 gigs in the next month, and that being one of them. So,
Nice.
that's where the focus will be. It's a matter
Thursday morning, Nick Klingensmith takes the stage at BCS Thursday morning to give the keynote at the event, which is going to be a blast. It's going to be great.
We're gonna bring the fire. I'm super stoked.
Well, hey, you bring the fire, I'll bring the tomatoes and the rotten fruit to throw at you while you're on stage.
That's fair.
At BCS, I'm on that panel that has to do with retention, right? At Broker Carrier Summit. That's the move.
I believe so, and if not, we'll get you on there. I know a guy.
See, that's how much Lombard speaks. Like, he speaks at so many events, he doesn't even know what he's speaking about anymore. They're just like, I just come on stage, just open my mouth.
That's right.
Just gotta send it
until the words start coming out.
That's right. John's got a phrase for us. Island of Matt's Fit Orphans. I like it. Clever.
Oh, I like it.
Clever.
Dude, we so need to get shirts for that and pass them out to all the Matt's orphans. that would be great.
Well, it's funny, Pedro. This is kind of full circle because you're the T-shirt guy. In fact, the reason why Nick and I know each other is because of you. You put the T-shirt together for Men Wear Pink last fall. I think it was in Fort Worth, and I was like, dude, what's that shirt all about? Tell me about it. And then you told me about Nick, and then we became friends, and here we all are. So it's just like it's fun to see all this coming full circle. And it all started at Matt's last year, which is pretty wild to think about. Chris says Lombard is the most inspirational leader since Napoleon. Love that. Chris, I think that's actually pretty accurate. All right, well, guys, listen, hey, we're coming up on 30 minutes. By the way, thanks to my friend over at Upwell for the gear this morning. This sweatshirt is money, dude. This is like one of the nicest, most comfortable crew neck sweatshirts I have. Not a lot of companies doing crew neck sweatshirts for their swag. Upwell, went outside the box a little bit, which I appreciate, which is great. John says, yeah, what Indy said about Lombard. It's great. So it's awesome. Well, listen, we're going to be at Matt's this week. If you're going to be at Matt's, make sure you come by and say hi to Michael Lombard at the Truck Parking Club booth, to Pedro at the podcast booth with Freight Movement and all those guys. And I'm just going to be floating around talking about BCS. You're going to see me probably in a quarter zip with Broker Carrier Summit. We're going to be promoting that as well. So we're going to see you guys in Louisville in a couple of days. We'll be back next week as always. And as we say every week on Iron Minds, find your tribe, find your group. As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. We will see you guys real soon. Thanks for joining us. Peace out, everybody.